Welcome back to a special episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host Gershwin and you were watching One Mind Syndicate. Happy Mother's Day. In honor of Mother's Day here in the States, we wanted to do a video talking about two very important women champions of the Imperium. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And if you enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. Link in the description if you want to support. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on two women champion of the Imperium. Perhaps one of the most famous Imperial pilots came from the Fantine Air Corps, the wing commander, Bree Jagdea. She began her career quite humbly as a member of the Fantine Planetary Defense Force, and successfully cleared the Great Aviator Golem of Hensonville at the top of her class. A certified Lightning pilot, Jagdea rose quickly within the structure of the Fantine Air Corps, until she commanded the Nimbus complement of fighters. During the fighting on her homeworld, Jagdea rapidly gained the status of an ace and began to forge her legend during the raid on Sirenholm. That Sky City had been marked as the first objective of the Imperial counter-invasion of Fantine, and although the airspace around the city was officially deemed safe for Imperial troop transports, Jagdea did not trust the official briefings. On a hunch, she took her wing in close support of the invading fleet, thus saving the Imperial assault from being massacred before it had even landed. Even wounded and shot down over Sirenholm's secondary habitation dome, she directed struggling or crippled Imperial transports into a safe landing zone, thus allowing a complement of the 10th, first and only, to expertly infiltrate Sirenholm and turn the battle for the city in a decisive moment. Commended for her actions at Sirenholm, she refused to step down from the fighting, despite having suffered a broken arm. Jagdea volunteered as a pilot for a high-risk insertion on Urumberg during the operation known as Lerzel. Jagdea was fully ready to give her life in the name of the Emperor. She was then shot down a second time in the same campaign, but was saved in extremis by the 10th Sergeant going by the name of Domor. Forced by circumstance to accompany the infiltration team into Urumberg, Jagdea and her team were discovered by Bloodpact troops and taken prisoners. Bound to be sacrificed in some hideous ritual to the dark gods, Domoro and Jagdea readied themselves to die. But just at that moment, the other team of Operation Laricel sprang into action, their precise sniper fire hitting the Chaos Space Marine, Sagitar Slave, the enemy commander. In the resulting chaos, Domoro and Jagdea were able to free themselves, seize weapons, and liberate other prisoners before fleeing the sacrificial plaza. Barricading themselves in a nearby building, the valiant pilot and her 10th friends held out until Imperial troops conquered Urumberg and joined up with them. Commended once again for her bravery by Grand Admiral Orloff himself, Bree Jagdea was placed in command of a newly activated Fantine 20th, which required her to return to Hensonville and become certified for operations on a Thunderbolt heavy fighter, the Fantine 20th's new mount. Deployed alongside other Fantine units to the Anothian War, Bree Jagdea would continually add to her impressive kill tally until she was wounded for a third time. She was still recovering from her wounds when the Bloodpact invaded Theta, the city where the Fantine 20th had been stationed. Through a good deal of luck and her own wits, Jagdea escaped in the company of one of her future pilots and close friends, Major August Kaminsky. With the enemy within striking distance of the Fantine capital city of Enothopolis, Bree Jagdea returned to the front lines in time for the great battle of the Sophonian Sea, where the enemy's air offensive was finally stalled. By the end of the Anothian War, the Fantine 20th was one of the 3 fighter squadrons with the most kills of the entire conflict, a testament to her will, both as a pilot and as a leader. Another very important defender of the Imperium is Saint Celestine. Very little is known of her life as a battle sister until she was declared a living saint. All that is known is that she was once a Sister Repenta of the Order of Our Martyred Lady. She fought alongside a multitude of Imperial faithfuls during the protracted wars against the heretics of the Palatine Schism. Celestine was at the forefront of the first wave of the deadliest fighting, and was thought to have been killed in battle before the capital city of the planet of Eurocian. She fell that day alongside every other Repenta, but despite her defeat, it was said that she accounted for the deaths of over 100 traitors during the assault. As Celestine's body was reclaimed by her sisters and set amongst the honored dead, her sisters saw that life was lingering within her, and the light of one touched by the divine will of the Emperor was glowing within her eyes. Cleansing her body of the blood and filth of battle, the sisters were astonished to find that she stood flawless before them. The next day, the assault resumed, with Celestine at the head of the Imperial forces. The heretics fell within hours as Celestine wreaked her bloody vengeance. She was hailed as the Crusades' figurehead, as the entire sector was scorned of the traitors and those deemed unworthy of existing upon the world of humanity. The Crusades' leader, Lord Angsgar, believed that the Crusade would reach its conclusion on the capital world of the Palatine sector, but Celestine insisted upon first liberating the small backwater planet of Sanctus Lees. Unknown to all but her, the world was home to the shrine of Saint Catherine of the Order of the Fiery Heart, a holy place visited by the living saint in secret just before her death. Celestine's followers found a broken altar amid some ruins and were ordered by Celestine to remove it. Beneath the shattered remains, a hidden crypt was found. Barring any from following her, Celestine descended the rusty steps that none had trodden in millennia. As the dawn of the first light broke above the ruined shrine, Celestine rose from the tomb, borne aloft on a column of divine radiance, and attended by cherubims and doves. She was now clad in a suit of shining golden power armor, and wielding a vibrant blade that none could look upon, the ardent blade of Saint Catherine. Celestine was declared a living saint by Lord Angsgar and the conclave of the Thorian compatriots shortly thereafter. Saint Celestine was hailed as the hero martyr of the Palatine Crusade, and she dispatched thousands of heretics during the prosecution of multiple wars of faith. This veneration by the Sisters of Battle was miraculous. She was a living saint whom the sisters would follow, even onto the very center of the Eye of Terror. Alas, Saint Celestine was lost to the Imperium while fighting the renegade warmaster of Forax. Many believe she perished during the moments of triumph, yet none survived to give a true account of the battle's conclusion. And those were 40 facts on 2 women champions of the Imperium. Happy Mother's Day to you guys. If you are an individual who gave birth to a child that will one day play Warhammer 40K, thank you. Thank you for introducing more players to the game. Hopefully you're buying them gifts if they're too young, and then once they reach that age, you could just start giving them battle forces to build and paint. If you have a mother, I hope you got her something good. I know mothers really like orc armies because orcs are the bestest. So hopefully you got her something good. If you don't have a mother, you're probably from the Death Corps of Krieg, and you're not going to live for too long, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you guys use. If you have any ideas for other topics of Warhammer 40K, comment down below. We will do a standalone video for Saint Celestine. I know she has way more lore. She fought during the Battle of Terra. She fought alongside Guilliman. So there's more lore for her. I just wanted to throw her in here because she's one of those staple women champions of the Imperium. So I wanted to give somebody that's a little more obscure and someone who's very notable within the Imperium. And Saint Celestine has a cool model, but we will create a whole video for her in the future. If you can't wait, there's already a 40 facts video on Saint Celestine. It's just an older video, so the quality might not be great, but yeah, there's that. And thank our patrons on Patreon for allowing us to create these videos for you guys. If you want to become a patron, link in the description. It's just $1 a month, and it helps us create more videos for you guys. Thanks for everything. Happy Mother's Day once again, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.